Hello students. So we will discuss about the chemical change. Chemical change is also known as chemical reaction. A chemical change occurs when two or more chemical substance reacts to form a new product that has the property completely different from the reactant. Chemical changes are irreversible. They cannot be reversed. So how can we say that a chemical change has been occurred or a chemical reaction has taken place? We are going to discuss some characteristics or the properties of chemical change. First, change in energy. If some chemical if some chemical changes may give out heat while some may absorb heat. A reaction in which the heat is released are called as exothermic reaction, and a reaction in which heat is absorbed are called as endothermic reaction. For example, take paper, burn the paper, you will get carbon dioxide, water and heat. This is heat is coming out. This is exothermic reaction. Take carbon, take sulfur and give heat. Give heat to it. It will change into carbon disulfide. This is a endothermic reaction. Okay, the reaction in which the heat is absorbed by the reactant are called as endothermic reaction, and the reaction in which the heat is given out is called as exothermic reaction. Digestion of the food is an exothermic reaction. In this the heat is given out. Next, change in color. If in some reaction, if there is a change in color, the chemical change accompanied by a change in color, that is the color of product may be different from that of reactant, that is change in color. For example, if you take copper sulfate, that is blue in color, when it reacts with the iron, the blue color fades away and you will be getting green color. This reaction shows that a change in the color has been occurred. Next, evolution of gas. Some chemical changes produces gases. These gases actually these gases are the products formed. It means the gases are formed in the product. So this kind of if the gas is coming out in the product, you can say that a chemical reaction has been occurred. For example, the gas produced can be carbon dioxide, hydrogen, ammonia. Like example, take carbon, burn it. Take coal, burn it. You will be getting carbon dioxide gas. Evolution of gas. So we say that a chemical reaction has taken place. Similarly, formation of precipitate. In some chemical changes, the product formed separates from the solution and forms a different mass of layer. This insoluble solid is called as precipitate. Take sodium sulfate and barium chloride. Do the reaction between them. Then what we see? We see the sodium sulfate and barium chloride. We see sodium chloride and barium sulfate has been formed. The formation of barium sulfate is in the form of PPT, precipitate. We say that a chemical reaction has taken place. Let us go with some examples of everyday life in which the chemical change has taken place. The best example is rusting. Take the iron objects, keep it in the atmosphere for some days. Afterwards, you will see that a reddish brown surface substance has been formed on the upper layer of iron. This formation of reddish brown substance on the surface of iron due to the presence of due to the attack of the moisture and air is called rusting. Rusting is nothing but when iron comes in contact with the oxygen and water, the formation of iron oxide takes place, which is reddish brown in color. That is, we called it as rust. Okay, the presence of moisture and oxygen is necessary for the process of rusting. It may, see, rusting of iron may lead to the damage of the iron. That is, rusting of iron may lead to the damages of bridge, ships. What happens if this rust, the iron oxide eats the iron? We can use the word eats. It eats up the metal and spoils the metal and make the metal weak. This process of we can prevent the rust either by oiling, by greasing, by galvanization, that is by coating the iron object with the zinc. Okay, so these are the prevention methods through which the rusting can be prevented. Next, browning of the cut fruits and vegetables. When you cut an apple, after some times you see that it has changed the color. Like if you cut the potato, if you cut the pear, if you cut the apple, it turns into brown in color. That is when it is exposed to the air, or if they are consumed, if they are not consumed immediately, then you will see that the color has been changed. So it is an example of a chemical change or the chemical reaction taking place, in which some compounds present in these fruits and vegetables reacts with the oxygen and it forms a brown colored pigment called as melanin. So what is browning? Browning is the process in which the surface of the cut fruits and vegetables turn brown when exposed to the air. Next, reaction between vinegar and baking soda. You can do this activity at your home. Vinegar is nothing but acetic acid. Take acetic acid in a glass beaker, add a pinch of baking soda. That is baking soda. The other name of baking soda is sodium hydrogen carbonate or sodium bicarbonate. When you add sodium bicarbonate to it, you will see some bubbles coming out of the beaker. This reaction is an example of the chemical change, as the formation of gas bubble is due to the release of carbon dioxide. The gas bubbles are coming out. It is nothing but the carbon dioxide is coming out. You can do this reaction. Okay, take acetic acid. If you are having vinegar, that is nothing but it's acetic acid, and add the baking soda to it. When you add to the baking soda, the gas comes out, that is the carbon dioxide in the form of bubbles. Now pass this carbon dioxide into the lime water, the freshly prepared lime water. What we will see? We will see that lime water turns the lime water to milky due to the formation of calcium carbonate. See, reaction has been given. Vinegar plus baking soda gives rise to carbon dioxide, water and other compounds. When carbon dioxide is made to react with calcium hydroxide, calcium carbonate plus water will be formed. Next, reaction with the copper sulfate and iron fillings. Take copper sulfate in a beaker and add few drops of dilute sulfuric acid to the solution till it turns blue. Now take an iron nail and drop it into the copper sulfate solution. After some times, you will notice that the blue color of the copper sulfate solution has turned to green color due to the formation of iron sulfate, that is a new substance. The brown color deposits formed on the iron nail is of the copper, as this is the formation of the new substance in the reaction, and we say that the chemical change has taken place. See, reaction has been given. Iron plus copper sulfate is equals to iron sulfate plus copper. This activity we can do in the lab. Okay, you have to leave the solution for some times, then you will see that the blue color has been faded away, and you will see that the color of the solution has been changed into green. This activity to see the chemical change has been taking place or not. Burning of paper, yeah, chemical reaction has been taken place, change in color has been taken place. You can write by yourself, but the reaction between sodium chloride and silver nitrate, this you cannot do. Okay, some reactions, this activity we will do in the lab. Next, physical change. What are physical change? Some changes do not produces a new substance but bring about the change in the shape, state, color and size. Such changes are called physical change. For example, melting of ice, tearing of paper. These are the examples of physical change in which no new substance has been formed, only the properties, that is shape, state, color and size have been changed. They can be reversed. These are reversible changes. Okay, this kind of change is called as a physical change. Next, to identify, this is also an activity to identify the change taking place in a physical change. So you can do this, you can write the changes what you observed. Okay, next, crystallization. What is crystallization? The process of formation of crystals is known as crystallization. What is crystallization? Crystallization is nothing but it is the process of formation of crystals. The process of crystallization is an example of physical change. How to separate the salt by crystallization process? The salt which we get from the sea, we can separate through the process of crystallization. That is, we use the technique called evaporation to separate salts from the seawater. So evaporation is used to obtain the salt from the seawater, which has a large amount of salt dissolved in it. Seawater, you know that they have the salts dissolved in it. The salt obtained by the process consists of many impurities like mud, sand, many other salts, magnesium chloride. This impure salt can be purified through the crystallization process. So first you have to take out the salt from the seawater by the process of evaporation, and after you are getting the salt, it contains many other salt along with the impurities. Now we require only the sodium chloride. So what we do, we go with the process of crystallization. What in the process of crystallization, a large amount of salt is dissolved in the water. Take the salt, dissolve in the water and boil it. The boiled solution, now after boiling the solution, filter the solution so that the impurities which are present in it can be separated out. Now the filtrate is kept undisturbed. You are not supposed to touch the filtrate for some time until the salt, that is sodium chloride, present in it changes into crystal. The salt crystal is obtained by this process is used for various other purposes. So in this way we can do crystallization. Again I am repeating, crystallization in this, for what we do, first we take seawater. By the evaporation technique, we evaporate the water and you get the salt. The salt contains many impurities, so we require the common salt. What we do, we take the salt and go for the crystallization process. In the crystallization process, we take the salt and dissolve in the water. Now that salt solution is allowed to boil. Then after boiling, filter it so that insoluble impurities present in it comes out. Now leave this filtrate undisturbed for some times. Afterwards you will see that the salt is changed in the form of crystals. Next, activity to change to find out whether crystallization is a physical or a chemical change. It is what we see. This is this activity, see, we see that it is not a chemical change, no new substance has been formed, it is a physical change, only the properties have been changed. Okay, so what in this, what we do, take 100 ml of water in 250 ml of beaker, boil the water and add copper sulfate solution, copper sulfate salt to it, to the water, and stir the mixture, and you have to stir the mixture until the copper sulfate has been dissolved. Continue adding the copper sulfate into the solution until it no longer dissolves. Allow the solution to cool. Take the solution, then take the solution in the watch glass and stick the label as copper sulfate. The filter of two mixtures in the conical flask and put few drops of filtrate on the watch glass too. Label the container containing the filtrate and cover it with the piece of paper. Place the container and the watch glass undisturbed for the 2 days. After 2 days, you will see the crystals of copper sulfate crystals formed on the watch glass and in the containers too. So by this process you can take out the impurities, but it is not a chemical change, no new substance are formed. You are taking copper sulfate, only you are taking out the impurities from it. So till here is your chapter. The chapter has been completed. Learn the keywords, and in the next session we will be doing the back exercise and the question answers. Thank you.